The movie begins with Holly, the narrator and protagonist, sharing her experience as an invisible girl, existing not as a ghost but as a presence overlooked by those in her surroundings. Holly reflects on her role within her family dynamics, portraying herself as the typical middle child with an older sister and a younger brother. Despite often feeling unnoticed, Holly's mother plays a pivotal role in encouraging and empowering her to find her voice and be heard. Tragedy strikes when Holly's mother falls ill, and despite assurances from the hospital, she passes away, leaving an irrevocable void. Without her mother, Holly begins to fade away from the attention and consciousness of her family. Initially noticeable during family dinners, it gradually extends to all aspects of her life. At school, Holly's attempts to be seen or heard go unnoticed, and by the end of the summer, she becomes entirely invisible to people's sight and memory. The turning point occurs on the first day of school when Holly oversleeps, and no one wakes her up. Confronting her family, she realizes they can neither see nor hear her. Attempts to interact with them, like holding her father's hand, result in fear and confusion. The gravity of her invisibility becomes undeniable when she discovers her absence from a family photo. Over time, Holly adapts to her invisible life, considering it normal as she resides in a house rented to a corporation. Holly's life revolves around the quiet routine of grocery deliveries, a job that enables her to maintain her unconventional night job, capturing scandalous photos of celebrities for tabloids. Despite her nocturnal endeavors, she makes occasional visits to her family. Her brother, immersed in the basement, passionately crafts an experimental movie, while her sister prepares for marriage. Their father has embraced a new career in commercial real estate, reshaping their lives. Traditionally, Friday night dinners persist as a family ritual, and Holly faithfully attends, though her invisible presence allows her to observe without participating. Invisibility grants her the freedom to go anywhere, unburdened by societal norms or appearances. One evening, Holly's routine takes an unexpected turn when a chance encounter with Shayne, a former MMA fighter, exposes her invisibility. Perplexed by his ability to see, hear, and touch her, Holly's curiosity leads to an altercation and expulsion from a club. She discovers that Shayne, unlike others, can perceive her existence. Excited by this revelation, Holly attempts to communicate with others, only to be met with indifference. The next day, at her mother's grave, she shares the news, realizing that, while Shayne sees her, she remains invisible to everyone else. Reflecting on a poignant memory with her mother, Holly gains comfort from the promise that she'll be there when needed. Upon returning home, Holly stumbles upon a tabloid with Shayne on the front page, kissing a woman caught in infidelity. The realization dawns on her that Shayne is no random bouncer, unveiling a new chapter in Holly's unseen life. Curiosity propels Holly to investigate Shayne's past, uncovering his journey from being an outsider to a world champion in MMA. Once celebrated as the perfect couple with celebrity Juliana, Shayne's life took a tumultuous turn when cheating allegations emerged, leading to a breakup and a fall from grace. Holly, determined to make amends, waits for Shayne at a club, revealing her involvement in the scandal. Confronting Shayne with the tabloid, he dismissively discards it. Holly confesses to taking the infamous photo, leaving Shayne perplexed as to why she would bring up such a painful chapter in his life. Concealing her invisibility, she expresses a sincere desire to fix the wrongs. Surprisingly, Shayne demands that she rectify everything that went awry. Skeptical yet intrigued, Shayne grants Holly 5 minutes to prove herself. As they join a meeting with his manager at the bar, Shayne discovers that the manager cannot see Holly. Utilizing her unseen advantage, she discloses the manager's deceitful plan to reduce Shayne's earnings. Shayne, increasingly puzzled, questions the cost, and the manager provides a false figure. Frustrated by the deception, Shayne confronts Holly outside the bar, demanding an explanation. Holly hesitantly admits her invisibility, prompting Shayne to test her claim. Standing in front of an oncoming taxi, Holly challenges Shayne to make the driver see her. As the taxi approaches, Shayne pushes her to safety, realizing she is indeed invisible to everyone but him. Exhausted and somewhat intoxicated, Shayne, unable to fully grasp the situation, invites Holly to his house. The following day, Holly, still invisible, meets with Shayne and reveals that she hasn't always been unseen, just as Shayne hasn't always been perceived as a loser. Convinced that fixing what she broke for Shayne could bring back normalcy, Holly proposes that she can help him get back on track. Shayne, still grappling with his struggles, invites Holly to witness an underground battle he participates in. Despite winning, Shayne receives a suspiciously low payment of $300 from his manager. Expressing his love for the sport, Shayne dismisses the need for better opponents or venues. Holly, however, believes he deserves more and asks for the list of potential opponents. Through her research, she identifies a rival with a past steroid scandal. Breaking into the rival's house, Holly captures incriminating photos of steroid pills, setting the stage for a strategic move. Excitedly, Holly informs Shayne of the good news, but he remains puzzled about how she accomplished it. Refusing to reveal her methods, she advises Shayne to focus on training for the upcoming fight. Meanwhile, Holly dedicates time to capturing images of Shayne to craft a more compelling public image. Amidst preparations, Shayne notices a notification on Holly's phone about her brother's birthday, leading to a conversation about her family. As Shayne listens to Holly's description of her sister, he suggests the possibility of her sister being pregnant. Intrigued, Holly stops by her sister's house to borrow clothes before heading to Shayne's apartment to watch him fight a rival after a 5-year hiatus. In a surprising victory, Shayne's manager cheers him on, but the celebratory mood is dampened when the manager reveals that Shayne's fight fee is not as substantial as expected. It becomes apparent that the manager has been taking a larger share of Shayne's earnings. Upon Shayne's return home, Holly praises his triumph, but concern fills her when she notices his injuries up close. Shayne invites her to the roof to admire the full moon, leading to a small argument sparked by his curiosity about her reality. Offended, Holly asserts her existence, and Shayne, realizing his mistake, apologizes. In an attempt to prove her reality, Holly challenges Shayne, who leans in for a kiss just as a journalist captures the moment in a photo. Shayne tries to pursue the journalist, but he escapes. Holly reassures Shayne and suggests they climb back down to continue their conversation. As the night progresses, they grow closer. The next morning, Holly discovers a tabloid featuring Shayne and a mysterious, shadow girl. Surprised to find herself in the photo, she navigates the complications of their newfound closeness. During Shayne's press conference with his arrogant opponent, the shadow girl is a hot topic. Shayne, deflecting questions about Juliana, remains tight-lipped. Holly takes matters into her own hands, sneaking into the opponent's limousine and blackmailing him with compromising photos. She demands he withdraw from the fight against Shayne. Later, at the club, she overhears Juliana calling Shayne, hinting at ulterior motives. After Shayne's victory, Holly reaches out to her tabloid contact, offering an exclusive on Shayne, only to face rejection. Switching tactics, she fabricates a story about Shayne's old rival seeking a rematch. The tabloid, eager for the scoop, agrees to publish the news. In her quest for leverage against the rival, Holly breaks into his apartment but comes up empty-handed. Following the events at the club, Holly goes to her sister's house to return the borrowed clothes and discovers her sister crying in the bathroom. Confirming Shayne's earlier suspicion, Holly learns that her sister is pregnant but is hesitant to inform her husband. As Holly receives a message about Juliana being on a date at the lounge, she investigates and finds out that Shayne is her date. Accused of spying, Holly clarifies that she came for Juliana, not Shayne. Confronting Shayne about that night, Holly questions his intentions with Juliana. Shayne admits to curiosity and clarifies that, while he thinks Holly is great, she doesn't exist in the real world. He accuses Holly of using him, claiming she was helping him only to help herself. Acknowledging the limitations of what she can provide, Holly reveals she couldn't find anything on Shayne's old rival, meaning she can't guarantee a win in the upcoming fight. Frustrated, Shayne realizes Holly has been setting up fights for him. In anger, he asks her to leave him alone, unable to see her. Returning to her usual routine, Holly continues selling compromising photos of celebrities. News surfaces that Juliana and Shayne are dating again, seemingly rekindling their relationship. However, one evening, Shayne surprises Holly by knocking on her door. He admits that his life fell apart for reasons beyond the photo Holly took. It wasn't the sole cause of his breakup with Juliana or his loss of temper during the fight. Shayne confesses that somewhere along the way, he began feeling entitled, leading him to become lazy and resort to cheating. Seeking redemption and comfort, Shayne asks Holly how he can make things right. In response, Holly kisses him, but he pulls away, expressing genuine concern for her and his desire to change. Shayne advises Holly to come to terms with her situation, inadvertently offending her as she interprets it as blaming herself for being invisible. Before leaving, Shayne hands her a flyer for a rematch with his rival, hoping she'll attend the show. Holly notices her reflection has disappeared from the mirror, worsening her predicament. Desperate for solace, she rushes to the gym to seek Shayne's support. Knocking on the window, she calls out to him, but he can't see her. Heartbroken, she watches as Juliana hands Shayne a towel, learning that Juliana came to him after he won the fight. Juliana admits to this, refusing to apologize. Struggling with her invisibility, Holly grapples with her family's challenges on a personal level. She lends support to her sister as she confesses her pregnancy to her husband and appreciates the artistic merits of her brother's experimental movie. Holly playfully orchestrates a meeting between her brother and a girl, revealing a tender side to her character. Shifting her focus to her father, she uncovers the enduring love he holds for their late mother. Exploring her father's room, Holly becomes attuned to the collective grief her family weathered after their mother's passing. Realizing her past neglect, she is determined to bring about positive change. Empowered with a flyer for Shayne's rematch, she bravely attends the fight, conquering her fear of the crowd with a newfound sense of courage and resilience. In a pivotal moment, Holly approaches the cage, passionately cheering on Shayne, despite his inability to see or hear her. When Shayne is knocked down, Holly rushes into the cage, displaying genuine concern. Between rounds, Holly kneels before Shayne, whispering words of encouragement. As he opens his eyes, he miraculously sees Holly again, and to everyone's surprise, others can now see her too. The guard interrupts, leading Holly outside, making her realize that she is no longer invisible to others. Despite Shayne's defeat in the fight, his mind is preoccupied with thoughts of Holly. He decides to end his relationship with Juliana, acknowledging the genuine connection he has with Holly. Shayne tracks down Holly, who is being held by hotel security. Stepping in, he declares that she is with him, and they share a reunion sealed with a kiss. The movie concludes as Holly visits her father, who, at last, recognizes her, and they embrace in a heartfelt hug.